All right, we have defensive back, D'Angelo Pons. We'll go ahead and start with Mike and then go to Seth.
Yeah, D'Angelo. I mean, obviously, you played a lot of star-laden lineups here in terms of Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon. How does Oregon kind of compare to those other two, and maybe what's kind of the strength you see from that group?
When thinking of Oregon, they had a high-powered offense. They like to take shots. They like to go deep. Great quarterback, just like all those other teams. I would say they're kind of similar with the receivers. Great receivers. Got like to get the ball to them in space. So they're very similar.
All right, go ahead, Seth, and then we'll go to Pete.
Yeah, D'Angelo, just what are the challenges of going up against a team a second time, especially for you as a cornerback lining up, against a receiver? Is it how tricky is it mentally to kind of not remember, what people did the last time you played and just kind of treat this as a new game like everybody's been saying?
I would say, in terms of my position, it is kind of tricky. The receiver knows what I like to do. I know what the receiver likes to do. So it's just a chance to mix things up and keep them guessing, basically. And it's gonna be a mind game out there. So basically, that's what it's gonna be.
All right, we'll go to Pete and then to Sammy.
Hey, D'Angelo, IU has had some significant injuries this year, and it has not affected performance. I know that the next man up philosophy is working. Why is it working so well? Is it the quality of the players, the quality of the coaching? Why is that?
I would say it's the coaching. When you have a player of that caliber go down like Stephen Daly or stuff like that, and the production stays the same, it's clearly the coaching. Everybody does the same thing, and the standard is the same at each level, and it's the next man up.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Sammy and then to Daniel.
D'Angelo, you've gone against some premier wide receivers who can get into space and get extra yards. You and Jamar have done a really good job of getting your guy down to the ground. What goes into that, both in practice and then in the game, when you're facing these guys who could, take the ball 80 yards?
Yeah, going against receivers like that is definitely tough. It's stuff we worked on in practice. From Mariah Ojong, he teaches us to get the man down. Sometimes we're in cover 3 and they throw little hitches out there. We got to make the tackle. We got to avoid explosives. And it's something we take pride in, honestly. So that's something we work on every day as well.
All right, we'll go to Daniel and then Jim Coyle.
Yeah. Last week you'd said that, size-wise, a lot of guys view that as a con with you. It's kind of a pro, though, the way that it's kind of always added a chip, right? Why is that a positive? Like why is the size that a lot of guys view as a bad thing actually really a positive for you?
I believe I said it before. I'm way faster than guys. I got good technique. I have better feet than most of the taller guys. I would say that's why it's a plus for me. It's easier for me to move. I can move fluidly. I feel like that's what makes me excel as a player.
We'll go to Jim Coyle and then Will Stewart.
D'Angelo, you have become one of the known features of this great defense. First of all, how much pride do you take in that of itself, knowing where you came from? And secondly, who's having more fun with this season, you or your dad?
I definitely take a lot of pride in defense. Defense will take you a long way. It won championships, as people say. It's definitely something we take pride in as a whole. And definitely, my dad is having fun with it as well. I try to stop him sometimes, but it's not out of my control.
All right, we'll go to Will Stewart and then to Dan.
D'Angelo, you guys are one of the more fundamentally sound playoff teams left in the playoffs. And last week versus Bama, instead of a lot of ramp-up tackles, it felt like a lot of guys were dropping their shoulder, just trying to lay somebody out. Was there something that played into that, or is that just how the game was going for you guys on defense?
It was a little bit of stuff that played into that from my perspective, but it's how we play as a defense as overall. We've been playing like that all season. We have a lot of doubters and stuff like that, and we never looked that way, and we just played our game.
We'll go to Dan and then to Mike S.
D'Angelo, when you look on either side of you and you've been going through the season with your brothers on the field, what has this whole experience been like? What are some words to kind of describe what this journey has been like as this Indiana team has grown to the point that you're at the semifinals of the college football playoff?
Honestly, in my perspective, words can't really describe the feelings that we're going through right now. we're just taking it one day at a time. Try to go 1-0 each week. Really, I haven't really thought on the season and how well it's gone. I would say like after the season, I will probably do that and look back on it. But right now, we're just trying to go 1-0 each week.
We'll go to Mike S. and then Zach B.
Yeah, D'Angelo, a quote from Coach Haynes about you. He said, D'Angelo competes with every fiber in his being. That seems like a great compliment. I'm curious where that comes from in your kind of evolution as a football player.
I would say just from having that chip on my shoulder, hearing that I'm undersized, being under-recruited out of high school and stuff like that, always overlooked. I would say that's where it comes from. Just that dog in me, I feel like it's come from being overlooked. Like I always thought that I never got the credit for what I was putting on the field, and I just proved that every day.
And Zach B, last one.
D'Angelo, I know you guys say all the time you guys don't pay attention to the doubters, but I'm sure you guys at least see some of that stuff. So when that stuff pops up on social media or on your feed or whatever it gets sent to you, is it you just immediately scroll past it? Do you send it to somebody and say like, "Ha, look at this"? What's that reaction when you do see that doubt online?
I really don't react no type of way. A lot of people have a platform like these day and ages, like anybody could say anything. It really doesn't affect me. If anything, I'll probably laugh at it or I'll just be like, okay, that's noted. But like, it doesn't really affect anything on the field, honestly.
Great. Thanks, D'Angelo.